Hi Martin, hi everyone. Now I'm going to share my presentation. So I'll get started here. What do jewelry lovers want? I know we have 10 minutes, so I'll try to go for the essential. What are the values that people want? They don't want value per se anymore. They want values. They want to know what the jewelry that has been made stands for. They want to know what the designers stand for, and they want to know what the retailers stand for. So we're going to look at a few key values that they're looking for. They're looking for connection to themselves, because we've been in a world that's been completely disconnected. We've been away from our loved ones. We've been stuck in our different places. People have lost the relatives, loved ones. It's been a very hard year with COVID, and it's been a year where people feel they want more connection to themselves and to the sentimental values that something represents for them. They also want to connect to the past. Could be family, could be heirlooms, could be something that just has a longer story and is not just a commodity. They also want something that's conscientious. This is not about conspicuous luxury, it's about conscientious luxury. They want to say, this is a jewel that looks good, but also it makes me feel good to wear it because of its story and because of its provenance and because of what good this jewel can actually make in the world. And they also want to have fun because it's been a long, tough year since COVID started, and they want something more playful and more joyful and to make a statement with a jewelry as an expression of themselves and as something they say, I want something lively and fun. So I start with connection. Connection comes in different ways. So we've seen a lot of jewelry. There's letters. People want to have the letters, the initials with a few diamonds, not depending on the designer. They want to have the star sign. For example, here I have Jade Tro, who does a lot of jewelry with diamonds. She had a whole new collection called Victoria, referencing the English queen. So sentimental jewelry, and she did star signs, letters, and spiritual symbols. And people love it. You can layer it, you can have all your relatives expressed, condensed in jewelry. This collection is from Sorelina, and they are American designers that got inspired by the tarot. So a lot of people are looking for meanings. Celestial jewelry, spiritual jewelry can be customized. It can be layered. It can really tell your whole story, and it can also bring some kind of relief through the whole range of beliefs that people have. And also connection to the past, as I said. The designers we speak to for the magazine, for the blog, they all tell us they had an increase in the past year of commission, bespoke comments. People want something that's just made for them, but they usually use inherited stones, maybe an engagement ring that they don't want to wear anymore in the way it was, because life changes and your taste changes and you want something that has an added story to it. So they will upgrade their diamond jewelry. Also, people are attracted to older jewelry because they will say the diamonds were ethical, because it seems like as soon as you're an estate piece of jewelry, everything is forgotten. And an estate jewelry being what it is, people love reusing and upgrading. And vintage jewelry has also experienced a massive boost in the past year. Estate dealers tell us people want to buy engagement rings, they want to buy brooches, they want to buy a bracelet, something that has a connection to time bygones. It's nostalgia, but it's also a design that is more unique because it's more rare and it's more difficult to find. Here I have an example of Cassandra Nicholson, an American designer who uses old cut diamonds set in really cool new designs. So she mixes the two, and our customers, our clients are enjoying this kind of link to the past. Another trend that we see, and I think that's something that Martin has touched upon and Avi has also talked about, and Elle after me will talk more about, is conscientious luxury. People want to know where their jewelry comes from, how it's been made, and by whom. Is it sustainable? Is it ethical? And is it responsibly sourced? The materials that's been used, the stones that have been sourced, that have been set in the jewelry, They want something that makes them feel good, and they're going to ask for a lot of questions, a lot more questions than they used to. They do their research, they follow the designers, they want accountability. We live in the generation that's here, the Gen Zs, the millennials, they ask tough questions, so designers have to answer. And there's a lot of designers, a lot of showrooms doing really exciting things. I just picked an example here with Muse Showroom. They created this collection of charms. So we go back to sentimental jewelry, personalization, adding the charms that you want, heart shapes. They worked with a range of 20 designers, I think, for this specific collection. And a lot of a percentage of the sales was for an organization that supports hungry people. But also now clients want to know, is my jewelry made maybe by a BIPOC designer? Because it's important to support Black-owned businesses after 2020. Is it something that is giving to charity? And also is the whole supply ethical? They also care about recycling. They care about packaging. They care about the social responsibility that the designer is supporting. So this is a new trend that is here to stay for sure. It's not a new trend, actually. This is the reality that we're in the jewelry industry. And because, as I said, there is a real trend for fun, colorful, playful. Enamel is being used, colors mixed with diamonds, big rings, big necklaces, layering. Melissa Kay used to do a lot of collections, big, heavy on diamonds, and she's introduced these colorful enamels in her recent collections. It's fun, it's layered, and it says, we want to have something a bit more playful in our day-to-day life. Emily P. Wheeler, also, she does work with a lot of gemstones, and she's a designer that works with recycled metals, ethically sourced gemstones. She's accredited by the Responsible Jewelry Council, which also is something that clients want to know. They want to know, are you kosher? Is your jewelry beautiful, but also meaningful and also responsible? And I would like to finish with something that is the bread and butter of our industry, the engagement ring. And the engagement ring is fitting all these trends together, because people want to buy an engagement ring where they know the diamond has been ethically sourced. There's this really interesting collection that De Beers did recently with Blue Nile. The story behind it is interesting because they've been working with 10 female designers coming from different backgrounds. They asked them to design a ring respecting their own signature, but at the same time that is in an interesting price point, that has diamonds mined in Botswana, so you can tell the whole story of Botswana. And it's fun, it's cool, the designs are really interesting. 10 designers, 10 women, fantastic story of empowerment for the female designers and for the people on the ground in Botswana. Color gemstones, also, people might be upcycling, the heirlooms, or they might have a stone that they like. It might be their birthstone. It might be something that has a very specific meaning to them. Here we have a beautiful sapphire and diamond ring by Mirta de Gisberg, who's based in New York, who's a jewelry consultant who works on a lot of custom projects and has seen an increase in colored gemstones engagement ring. Vintage inspired, same thing. Maybe you don't buy a vintage ring or an antique ring, but you want your ring to have this touch that might be connected to the past. This is a beautiful example by Maggie Simpkins, who's based in LA, who does only bespoke jewelry and who has a wonderful relation to her clients. She always includes a little touch of their personal story in their ring that they only want to know. So we're talking about high-end personalization, connection to the designer. She only sources ethical gemstones and gold. And also, I would like to say she's a fantastic example to follow in terms of Instagram, because she shares a lot of videos of behind the scenes. And you can see how she sources her stone, how she designs, how she works with her clients. So beautiful ring. And also I wanted to share an example of an antique ring. Art Deco Victorian rings are being popular. Walton's Antique Jewelry is doing a really great job at showcasing rings, and they've seen also a lot of people opting for a vintage ring for in 2020, and it's something that's certainly going to carry on in 2021. So to wrap it, there's a lot of other subjects, big trends. I wouldn't finish this presentation without mentioning pearl necklaces, because Vice President Kamala Harris has been wearing it, and it seems like everybody is now interested in pearl necklaces. So big trend. Gender fluid jewelry, appealing to the Gen Zs, to the millennials. Big. Also, men also want to have fun with jewelry. We're back to in a time where people want to express themselves, and jewelry is a fantastic means to do so. And I would say for most jewelers and most retailers, share your story. If you have a beautiful story, share it. People want to know you, and they want to know your products, but they also want to know you, and they want to see. And I mentioned about Maggie Simpkins earlier, how she shares the behind the scene. Arak, who's an Indian, a Mumbai-based designer, high-end jewelry, also working with diamonds, also shares a lot of what's happening, how they make it, show us the artisans, tell us that you're sourcing responsibly. Arak is also a member of the Responsible Jewelry Council. So it all comes together, and people want to know, and they do their research online, and they will check you out big time. So we know that over 90% of people will actually go digital before coming to your store. So they will want to know who you are, what's your story, what do you stand for? Are you as ethical as you pretend to be? So it's a very exciting time, because designers have really upping their game at transparency and disclosure. And I think this is what the consumers want. And I think this is going to be really exciting to see how the industry is progressing and offering beautiful pieces that have emotional values, and also more than just material price. So that's it. So thank you so much for having me on this webinar, Martin.
Thank you very much. Your wonderful presentation. And I think everyone needs to understand and that.
And I'm sorry. I'm just going to do one last thing.
Sure.
I want to say, sorry, Martin, I just want to say that I picked 3 cool things that I think are underscoring the whole industry and the whole jewelry trends at the moment. But we have an Instagram account called Jewelry Connoisseur by Rapaport, on which we share 5 days a week trends and news about estate jewelry, contemporary designers, high jewelry, bridal trends. So, please check it out, and we cover many more themes, and we try to only cover designers that we believe in and that have the approach that is relevant and suitable to the standards we hope for the industry. So.
That was an excellent presentation. It is vital for people to think about, okay, I've got jewelry. What am I going to sell? What is the trend? And the trend, in spite of the fact that we might think, oh, everything's now on the computer and people are less meeting with each other, I think what we're seeing is the opposite. In other words, because of what has happened with coronavirus, you might think that now we are all becoming these cool people that just use computers, but there's this need for greater information about the individual you're dealing with, about the jewelry that you're buying, the personalization. If you remember before, I talked about the we and then the me. So the me is starting to reassert itself in how people buy and what they buy.